Doctor Who: The First Adventure is a computer game based on the long-running British science fiction television series Doctor Who, released for the BBC Micro in 1983. It featured the Fifth Doctor, despite only seeing one pixel as the Doctor, as the player ventured through for mini-games. Doctor Who and the Mines of Terror is a 1985 game for the Amstrad CPC, BBC Micro and Commodore 64. The game's play centers on the player's character of the Doctor and his robotic programmable cat Splinks. The goal of the game is to halt the Master's production of Heatonite. Doctor Who and the Warlord was released in 1985. The game loaded in two parts, with a password and information from the first half needed to successfully continue into the second part. Each part was recorded on one side of the cassette. Dalek Attack is a 1992 computer game based on the long-running British science fiction television series Doctor Who, in which the player controls the Doctor and fights recurring adversaries, the Daleks and other enemies. The game is set in London, Paris, New York, Tokyo, and Skaro. Doctor Who: Destiny of the Doctors was released in 1997. The bulk of the game takes place in the Doctor's TARDIS. The game begins in the console room of the fourth Doctor's TARDIS, and the player must then select one of the Doctor's 7 incarnations and activate the TARDIS to go in search of them. Top Trumps: Doctor Who is a 2008 card game video game. The game is based on the popular Top Trumps card game and features elements from the BBC television series Doctor Who. Players each receive a deck of cards and attempt to win all of their opponent's cards. Doctor Who's City of the Daleks was released in 2010. The Doctor and Amy arrive in Trafalgar Square, London in 1963 to find the city in ruins and under the control of the Daleks, following a woman, Sylvia, into the London Underground. Doctor Who: Blood of the Cybermen was released in 2010. Doctor receives an SOS call which he responds to, and landing where Chisholm fell. The Doctor and Amy rescue Chisholm, and they use the TARDIS to go back to the base where Chisholm came from. Doctor Who TARDIS was released in 2010. The Doctor and Amy are inside the TARDIS, discussing where they should go next for a more peaceful outing, and the Doctor mentions that his holidays in Brighton and Paris did not turn out well. However, the TARDIS suddenly enters a space riptide, and the Doctor is launched through the doors and out into space. Doctor Who: Return to Earth was released in 2010. Ennui. The Doctor and Amy arrive on the deserted starship the Lucy Gray, which was the first ship to return to Earth after the solar storms of the 26th century. However, on the ship are the Daleks and Cybermen, who are after the dangerous time axis. Doctor Who: Mazes of Time was released in 2010 on mobile devices. The game is played in third-person 3D from a high-angle view, and features the Doctor and Amy moving around rooms and mazes solving puzzles. Control is via an on-screen joystick on the touchscreen. Doctor Who: Shadows of the Vashta Nerada was released in 2010. The episode begins with the Doctor and Amy being stalked through the underwater city by an enormous shark-like creature known as a Zaralok. The two make their way through a series of tunnels while the Zaralok tries to ram its way in. While they manage to escape, the Zaralok destroys one of the tunnels. Doctor Who: The Gunpowder Pilot was released in 2011. While leaving China after trying to get a takeaway, the TARDIS collides with an alien ship, creating a dimensional lesion inside the ship that links the TARDIS to an alien planet. After the Doctor accidentally drops the sonic screwdriver into the rift and Rory recovers it, they trace the ship. Doctor Who: The Eternity Clock is a 2012 action-adventure video game based upon the BBC television series Doctor Who. The game can be played by 1 or 2 players. The one-player option switches between the characters of the 11th Doctor and River Song. Doctor Who: Legacy was a 2013 Match 3 puzzle RPG mobile video game. The game includes every incarnation of the Doctor from the television series and well over 200 companions from both classic and modern Doctor Who. Doctor Who Infinity was a 2018 episodic Match 3 puzzle video game developed by Tiny Rebel Games. Gameplay changes from level to level, with increasing complexity, while the recognizable detachable tile mechanic allows us to stay accessible to gamers of all levels of experience. Doctor Who: The Edge of Time is a 2019 virtual reality video game developed by Maze Theory and published by PlayStack. It features the 13th Doctor and the TARDIS taking the player on an adventure through space and time. The game introduces to brand new monsters, the Hydrorcs and the Zlysters. Doctor Who: The Lonely Assassins is a 2021 found phone mystery video game developed by Kagan Games and published by Maze Theory. The game revolves around the player, as themselves, having discovered Larry Nightingale's phone and investigating the contents of the phone. Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality was released in 2021. Experience an unforgettable story-driven adventure through space and time, face terrifying monsters, and solve a mind-bending mystery. Face classic Doctor Who monsters, including Daleks, Weeping Angels, and Cybermen.